Righto, this Valentine's Day, do you want to have a go at converting territory to points? Do this recipe. Today we're going to be doing a baked Mediterranean salad. It is episode 496 of Cooking with Clutz. Welcome back once again. So first ingredient is in the fridge. It is salmon. We don't want to get it hot in this Queensland climate. So she's chilling in there till we're ready. But we've got some garlic, some spinach. We're going to make a lovely little sauce with that, filling, as well as some preserved lemon. Preserved lemon, one of the weirder things you'll ever see. We got some fire roasted capsicum, some capers, some shallots. Guys, I recommend getting this one here. She's a big girl, about 11 bucks from Woolworths. Not an ad, but shout out to them. Got a couple of different spices here as well to make up for the Aleppo, which we don't have. I'll get into that when we're doing it. And then some Greek yogurt as well, which is part of the pocket filling. So let's get into it. Righto, first things first, get your baking tray, do a bit of spray on it. You can do whatever you want. I prefer the spray oil because it's quick and fucking easy. Set your oven to 200 degrees. From there, we chuck her in. Let that marinate for a little bit. And we get into the good stuff. Righto, first things first. Bit of olive oil, don't use the spray shit. This stuff's way better. You can use whatever you want. Chuck a bit in a pan on medium heat. Looks like a shit ton went in there, but there's nothing better than having a shit ton of olive oil. What we want there, get it up to a nice temperature. From there, I've got a couple of things pre-prepared, but we do have to do the shallots again because I did one earlier and I ended up going a little bit overboard with the shallots, but nothing wrong with that. So grab a knife. Here's one I prepared earlier. You want it finely chopped. So I like to go like this first of all, and then just really fucking get into it after that. You'll find shallots a bit softer than your typical red onion or normal shallots, and I just like doing this. It says cook it like to go fine. I just sort of get a bit weird. I don't actually know what fine is, but just this motion really gets me excited. And it makes a funny noise too, so for this recipe as well, it is going based off about 700 grams of salmon. So you could say it's roughly 4 portions. I'm doing only one for this, so I've gone a quarter of everything. But if you're doing it for you and your significant other and you're doing one piece each, just halve everything on the recipe. So this is actually the half amount of the shallots that you need. Righto, so first up we put our shallots in. We want to put them in for about 3 to 4 minutes on that medium heat. So I usually go 4 if you've got the 1 to 6 dials. This one's gonna go 3 to 4 minutes until it's translucent. If you do start to see it browning, I highly suggest doing the next step, which is chucking in garlic and spinach. I like to play with my food a lot, which would come as a shock to absolutely no one. So I tend to just move this around, often way too much. So now I'm gonna chuck this bad boy down, put my hands behind my back like I was taught to do as a child going through expensive shops, and just look. Righto, so we've done that 3 to 4 minutes. What I like to do first, chuck the garlic in. Now, I'm a big fan of garlic, so I don't really care what it says on the recipe. So I like to go a big heaped teaspoon for this one. It's gonna say do like 3 cloves. So I just like going extra here. Really brings out the flavor. Move that around a little bit. Now I've measured out here roughly a quarter of the spinach I'm required to have, which is 35 grams. So do about 70 grams. A lot more spinach than what you think. So we chuck that in. We're gonna do this for another 3 to 4 minutes until the spinach is wilted. You don't wanna move it too much so it can actually like go down a bit. We'll get that garlic soaking in with the shallots. Righto, so we're almost wilted all of the spinach here. What you want to do now is sort of combine that garlic and the shallots in with the spinach. She's almost ready. From there, what you want to have ready is a strainer. Put that over the sink. We'll show you in a second, but you want this on handy so you can bring that straight away over. We're going to be drying out this mixture so that it's not too moist going into the salmon. So I reckon we're about good here. Bring this over. Just simply grab that. Simple, chuck her in the sink and then get that in there. Grab a spoon and your spinach, and all you gotta do, push her in like that and drain a lot of that water out. I like to caress it. That's not actually caressing, that's quite aggressively smashing into the strainer, but that's okay. I haven't been known for having a gentle touch. So this is pretty much drained. From there, we want to go to a chopping board. Here's one I prepared earlier. Chuck that down, scrape that out. Now you're gonna have some of this shit here too. I like to just try and scrape as much of that off as possible. Chuck that there, throw that away, and then roughly chop. So it doesn't really matter how finely this is chopped. But as I said earlier, I just get addicted to chopping because it makes a funny noise. Righto, next up we're gonna be making our filling for the salmon. So what we wanna do, you've got your spinach mix, chuck her straight in, like that. Preserved lemon, capers there as well for a nice little hit, and then that capsicum as well. From there, Greek yogurt. I don't mind if it's a bit heaped either, if you got a little bit extra, because you will just be combining everything together. You also want some salt. It doesn't really matter what salt, I don't think personally. So I've got some pink Himalayan salt because I'm like real into that sort of vibey shit. You got some pepper here. I'm a massive fan of pepper, so I just go for it. Put it all on top. Now, it says Aleppo pepper. If you don't have Aleppo pepper, don't worry, because you're gonna have paprika and cayenne pepper. Basically, whatever your spice levels are, you can put however much in. I just like to go a bit of a dash, like that, just to cover the top of the Greek yogurt. And the same again. Get that little bit of extra spice in there. You can keep these boys around if you want to put it on the top of the salmon, which I'm pointing to the one I've already done. But yeah, if you want to put it on the top when you put it in for that extra spice, that's sweet. Otherwise, grab your spoon from before. I'll just give that a little wash. And we're gonna mix this all together. This is where I feel like a child as well, where I can just play with my food. So now we've got our mix there. Next thing, we're gonna grab the salmon out. Now, big thing with the salmon, you wanna have some paper towel on hand. If you don't have paper towel, probably go get it. Or make sure you've got some like 4-ply toilet paper, because we're gonna be patting that prick down. Next up, salmon. Now, with your salmon, this bit here probably isn't the most ideal bit. What you want is you want a nice big thick bit the whole way along, because we're going to be cutting there and making a nice pocket to put all of that filling into. I'll just give you an example of the ones that D-Hole will be taking to his lovely miso soup. This one here is a bit better because although it's shorter, it is fatter. Hello. Bit like me. Anyway, this bit here, that's probably my favorite bit. You're gonna get a nice, like it's nice and wide, you're gonna get a nice wide cut through there to fit all of that yummy filling in. But we'll put that off to the side, grab a knife. You don't wanna go all the way through to the other side either. So just try and make a bit of an incision like that. Just slowly work that down all the way to the end. We should open that up, and that's basically through to the other side. Now, we want to get our paper towel here. Bit odd, but a lot of this happens with salmon. If you're not familiar with cooking with it, you want to pat it down. But for this one, all we're going to be doing, patting this down, making the salmon nice and dry, like this. You want to make everywhere, including inside that little incision that you've made in the pocket, dry. Once we've done that, can chuck this back down here, grab your salt, and we're gonna be salting absolutely everywhere with this. What we wanna do now is we wanna grab out of the oven our baking tray from before, grab that mixture and your spoon, and we just go like this. So it's gonna look messy, but that's okay. The best food doesn't look fucking perfect. And if any chef tells you, tell them to fuck off. So now we bring this over here, chuck her in. Grab your timer, chuck 15 minutes on, and just wait. Righto, pretty easy salad to go with it as well. I've gone the kale and spinach mix, purely because it is Mediterranean, so you just chuck some of that in a bowl. Got everything else here pre-cut, avocado, red onion, and just, if you want cherry tomatoes, go for it, but the other tomatoes are like $2 cheaper at the moment, so it's really good. Chuck all that in there. I just like to give it a bit of a toss. Depending on the size of your bowl, it'll toss better, or you can just get into it with your hands. Just move around like that. Righto, timer's gone off, so salmon is all ready. Get her out of the oven. And would you look at that? Just turn this around for you. So I like the stuffing, like usually you're gonna get too much stuffing, so it's gonna overfill, but we'll let this one sit for a little bit. Righto, so get your salad. Grab a nice little handful. If you've got nice salad serving things, maybe use that. But that's probably a good portion there. I like my extra avo. Bit of extra tomato. Grab the balsamic. Make sure you plate all this up for your missus as well. She'll proper appreciate it. This is where presentation can be key, even though I said it doesn't matter before. Chuck that over here. We've got this bad boy waiting for us. Peel her off, place her down like that. Just gonna taste that. A wishy. Sorry, one thing I forgot, because it is like a Greek Mediterranean salad, you gotta have feta. Chuck her all on, get her amongst it, and plate her up and bring it to that significant other so they can enjoy. Here you go, darling.
Oh, Josh, I could kiss you. Let's go convert some territory into points.
Righto guys, that's a very simple salmon Mediterranean dish with a very easy salad as well. Cook that for your missus, let us know how it goes. If you do convert those territory to points, congratulations. If she doesn't like it, just let her know that you got it from Christian Petraka. Thank you.